What's up, man? Mighty Mouse out here in Vegas. Kicking it with my homeboy right here, Eric. He's from down the Louisiana system, man. I think this is the first person I've had on from the Louisiana prison system. I've had Mississippi. I've had people close to you, Texas, Mississippi, Atlanta, Alabama, but never Louisiana yet, man. There's a prison I want to ask you about down there, man, because I'm gonna let you introduce yourself first, but don't let me forget to ask you about this one prison, man, because there's
I
some
already
shit I
know what
want to
you're
know
gonna
about
ask
this one. I
about.
want to know about this prison, man. But
I already
I'm gonna
know.
let you introduce yourself. You can tell them whatever it is that you want to tell them, your Instagram, your Facebook, who you are, how much time you did, and we'll take it from there. But
All
boy,
right.
Eric, guys.
How y'all doing, man? Yeah, my name's Eric. I'm 30 years old, man. Born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I did 7 years altogether in the system here, a 5-year bid and then a 2-year bid. Uh, Louisiana is like no other state in a way, man. We're the only state I believe that's got parishes. Everywhere else is counties and whatnot. Uh, I was just turned 18 years old when I caught my first charge. And I've never been in trouble before that, never been arrested before, man. It was a road rage incident, man. Me and my brother were bringing my mom to the grocery store. This was right when Hurricane Gustav hit, 2008. We got into a little road rage incident with this guy, man. He threw a bottle at our windshield, cracked our windshield. My brother was already on parole. We let it go. Try to go to the store, come back home. Here he is again, man, like just following us pretty much. We get out the car, walk up to him, had some words with him. My brother turned and walked away. The dude attacked me. He put his hands around my throat, was choking me. I'm 18 years old. I'm 120 pounds soaking wet. I'm a little fella at this point.
Yeah.
I knocked his hand away. I two-pieced him. Get him off of me. He comes at me again. I two-pieced him again. I put him down that time. That's all I did. I defended myself. My brother kicked him while he was down, stomped his head into the concrete, messed him up pretty bad. Somebody ended up getting our license plate. I got arrested that night. My brother ran for about a month before he got caught. Uh, what's crazy about it all is this dude was best friends with the district attorney over the whole Baton Rouge court system. So didn't stand a chance from the get-go, pretty much,
That's bad.
man.
That's bad luck.
Is it, man? Yeah. Went to court. I pretty much had evidence, proof that I was defending myself. I mean, the guy
Yeah.
even said he's not the one that did the damage to me. I went to East Baton Rouge Parish Jail, which is arguably one of the roughest jails in the state, man. It's worse than some of the prisons down here.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nothing to do there, man. Like, you're inside all day. There's just nothing to do.
Right.
A lot of fighting, a lot of violence, a lot of stealing. That's just how it is. It holds about 2,000 inmates,
Yeah.
pretty big place. I battled the charge for about a year, man, and went to trial. And we went through trial for about a week, man. I had a paid lawyer too, and he came at us and was like, "Look,"
I was
they
about to
told my
ask you
brother,
that. You said you went to trial. I was like, you must have had a good lawyer.
"No, man, he wasn't, bro. He was shit."
Well, I mean, it was a paid lawyer, so I guess when you got a paid lawyer, man, going to trial is a little bit more. You're supposed to feel a little bit more
Right,
relaxed,
supposed to, yeah, supposed
Yeah,
to. Nah, I think he was in on this, man. I think he knew the guy too. Uh, I say that, bro, because he was a bumbling idiot up there, bro. Like, I had transcripts of from the arrest report and then all the court documents, inconsistencies in this guy's story. I
yeah,
highlighted and pointed out. He didn't bring any of that up. He didn't do anything he was supposed to do. Uh, they told my brother, look, if you take this to trial and lose, and you're going to lose, they're going to habitually offend you and give you 40 years flat. So my brother was like, well, what can we do to keep that from happening? Like, can I get some kind of a deal here?
yeah.
Like, not,
Like plea bargain.
yeah, give me some kind of bargain,
Yeah,
They never offered us anything through this whole
yeah.
time. And they said, here's the deal they want to offer you. You can plead guilty in the blind right now, which
With
means
no
they can
time.
max you out. Yeah, they can max you out on all your charges, but they'll
Oh,
take the habitual offender off the table.
yeah.
And he was like, damn. He said, hold on, there's one more thing. In order for you to get that deal, Eric has to take the same deal right now. I'm like, man, y'all told me I'm getting probation. I'm going home. Like, this is the first time I've ever been arrested. You know, I've already been here a
Yeah.
year. Like, that's crazy, man. But man, I didn't have
Yeah.
to think twice about it, bro. That's my only brother. He had kids at the time. I didn't. Where do I sign? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't have done it any other way, bro.
Yeah. You got the same deal with a fucking court-appointed attorney.
Yeah, really.
Fuck, man.
We did that, man. Took that deal. Went to court a month later. They sentenced my brother. We had two charges. One carried 10, one carried 5. And my brother was already on paper for 12 years. So they gave him the 12 on paper, the 10 and the 5. Ran it concurrent. He did 10 years.
Oh, they ran
They
a
gave,
concurrent? At least they did that. Holy
right.
shit. Yeah.
They gave me 10 years in 5 years, ran it concurrent. So I did 5 years off the 10. And man, it was just ridiculous, bro. Like, my grandmother was there through the court process. She talked to the district attorney, and he told her straight up, you know, Miss Caroline, y'all seem like nice people, a good family. I'm gonna do everything I can to throw the book at your grandchildren. I'm gonna see them in jail as long as I possibly can. Like, they're dirty motherfuckers down here, bro.
Not, do they have parole down there? Or is there like a good time? Like if you do these programs, you'll get like fucking 30 for 30, or you can make parole, or what is there like a percentage rate, or how do they do it down there?
If you got like a capital charge, like a murder charge, you're doing flat time. If you
They
have
got the
just like
death. They got the death penalty down there?
I'm not sure about that. I don't want to lie and tell you yes or no. I'm
Oh,
not
okay,
really
gotcha.
sure.
Okay,
I don't think so anymore, but I'm not. They used to. I know that, but I'm not
right,
sure.
right.
If you have a violent charge, like a fight or something like that, you get 85%. If it's a non-violent crime, you get. It used to be. I don't know how it is now. It's been a while since I've been in there, but it's called Act 572. You do 5 months and 15 days off of each year. So you do about half of your sentence on a non-violent crime. But
That's in
you know,
Virginia.
but on the back end of that, you got to do it on parole on the street.
Oh, okay, so you still, no matter what, you still got to do it, but just do it on paper.
Right? Yeah. 63
Got
bucks a month on the. You know, you're on parole. You got to pay $63 a month. You're paying for your freedom.
Yeah, the Mississippi system. I talked to a guy that's in the Mississippi system, and it's the same thing. They got to pay. It's the only place I've ever heard of that, man. That you pay to be on probation. I think Florida. My boy Skilly was in Florida system, and he said that he had to pay to be on there too, man. We've never had to do any of that. That fucking sucks, man. Especially, man, you
Yeah.
get out and you can't get your license, or you can't get a job, or whatever the situation may be. You're paying court costs and restitution and fines and shit, man. That's $63. Like, we might look at it now because we're established and shit. But coming out of prison, man, $63. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
So that's
They
a
got
super burden, man. And that's like a must pay. So
yeah.
that's fucking tough, man. And if you ain't got family that's like fucking backing you or helping you do it, man, you're fucking your back's against the wall straight out of the fucking gate, man. That
They
fucking
got
sucks,
another
man.
thing. They got another thing called drug court they do down here, man. It's people got drug charges and stuff. It's an option to stay out of jail, take drug court, but it's such a trap. Like, you gotta
Yeah.
show up 3-4 times a week for meetings. You're on a color code drug test. You call, and if your color comes up, you gotta go piss. Like, it don't
Yeah,
matter.
we got that. We got something like that. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's setting you up for failure, man, all the way around. Like, you just
Yeah.
can't win.
Fuck, dude. So you're off probation now. You're out here. You got a job. You're doing good.
Yeah.
We talked about you can tell them a little bit about what you're out here doing now, but we talked about like I automatically already know that you guys got programs inside of your prisons because you just told me you took a welding shit before we did this. Now, um, when you take those type of vocational classes in Louisiana, can you take them with any amount of time left, or do you have to be down to a certain amount of time? Do you have to have good behavior? And are they street certified? Like, are they state certified? Like, or are they just like a prison fucking program? I mean, or you get out and they're actually accredited. I know in Virginia, our shit is accredited, so it doesn't show a penitentiary certificate. You're actually getting state certified. If you get an HVAC or plumbing or welding or roofing or whatever, if you get any of that in our system, you're getting street certified. This is not no fucking prison bubblegum fucking plaque that you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how it is here, man. They got what's called Baton Rouge Community College here. That's for people on the street. But
Cool.
the program I took, I was in a little bullshit jail on my second bid, man. just sitting in the dorm doing nothing all day. I finally got a chance to talk to somebody, and I told him, "Man, y'all got to ship me, man. I'm not used to doing time like this. Y'all got to ship me to
Right.
prison. Like, I can't do this." And he did, man. He granted my wish. He sent me to the penitentiary, and first thing I did was I signed up for classes. I wrote them every day. Told them, I want to take this welding class. I got a girl with kids waiting for me, man. I want to do right by them. I really want to take this program. And they let me do it, man. It was like a 4-month welding class, but they offered carpentry, mechanics, and stuff. That's just a handful of different skills. It is legit. Like, it doesn't say nothing about being on prison on it. It's through
Right. Right.
BRCC, Baton Rouge
Okay.
Community College. It's a legit. It's called VOTEC.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Vocational.
it's
Vocational class.
actual. Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
actual college credits though. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So, do you got to pay for it, or does the state pay for it?
State pays for it, man.
Yeah,
Louisiana
that's what's up.
Workforce Commission actually will sponsor the people who have like drug charges and stuff. They'll
Right.
sponsor and pretty much pay for them to do the schooling. But
Right.
yeah, you don't have to pay for nothing, man. They pay for it all.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because I use the workforce to help guys get their CDLs out here
Mhm.
when they get home. So as long as you can pass the tape test, pretty much to show that you can fucking read and write, then they'll pay for you to get your Class A CDL. They'll send you to tractor trailer school and all that stuff. So I help a lot of guys through the workforce. What's crazy is, man, is I just did a Texas prison talk with my homeboy from BNFA, and he actually Gary, my boy, he helps me run a lot of the fights down in Dallas. And he said that, man, the workforce down there was stealing a bunch of money from the state as far as like programs for prisoners coming home, man. So they pretty much shut them down. I was like, dude, that's kind of fucked up, man. You know what I mean? That you're stealing
Yeah.
from the fucking from the prison system, man. The one place where you shouldn't be stealing money from because you're helping guys get out here and get certified, and whether it's barbering or you said like fucking welding or whatever it is that you're out here doing, man. I mean, that's the last people that you want to steal from and shut the door on, because what kind of position are you putting these inmates that are coming home back in um, when you leave them no options to get into these type of classes, man? So that was kind of fucked up to hear about that, but I know exactly what you mean with the workforce thing. So let me ask you this. So do you guys got level systems in y'all's prison? So you said you did 7 years. What level would that so you go to, okay, so I figure you come from a jail, you go to probably like a receiving center so they can classify you and they send you to whatever level it is that they decide that they're going to send you to, whether you got a violent charge, a murder charge, or a fucking burglary charge, or a fucking grand larceny or something. So they probably send you to a certain level. What you guys got? Super maxes? You got low levels? You got chain gangs? What do you guys got there?
It's like I said, it's different than any other state, really, man. We got what's called satellite camps here. We don't have county jails and stuff. We got your parish jail, which is your pretrial before you're sentenced, and then you can get shipped to a satellite camp. It's like some of them are private-owned prisons. Then you have your actual penitentiaries, and what you were saying at the beginning of the video, a jail you wanted to ask me about, I'm guessing it's Angola.
Angola. That's the one I wanted to ask you
Yeah,
about, man. That's the
right.
biggest prison. I think that's the biggest prison in the United States,
It is.
if I'm
Yeah,
right.
it
And
is.
and the reason why I wanted to ask you is because I'm interested, because I got a friend that actually got out of Angola. He became a boxer inside of Angola. And he used to tell me about and I don't have contact with him anymore, man. I would love to have him on here because he has actually fought on ESPN, which is crazy.
Okay.
I lost contact with him, and I had seen him again on ESPN, man, and I could not find him. I've looked on every social media to try to find this guy, man, and unless he's under like some type of nickname, I can't find him. But he boxed in prison. He boxed in Angola, and he used to tell me, man, they had fucking rodeos there. He said they had
Yep.
all sorts of crazy shit. I was like, damn. I was like, this has got to be one big ass prison if they got all that type of stuff in there, man. Fucking rodeos and shit. Like, I've been on some prisons that got about 4,000 people. I've been on Greensville, which is a pretty big prison. It's the biggest in Virginia. It's got 4,000 inmates, which is that's like 3 times the size of our normal prisons. Most of our prisons only have like 1,000 or 1,200 inmates. So when he told me how big this prison was, dude, it's like, man, that's got to be like an entire fucking town. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. So
It's
everybody that works at this prison, man, that must like feed the entire community of people that live around this prison, man. Everybody must work at this prison that lives there.
Man, it's its own city. it's the city of Angola. All the guards and deputies, pretty much, that they live on site there. Like, it's
Well, I
a
heard.
big gated community. It's got its own postal code. It's got its own zip code. That's how big it is, bro.
How many people?
Yeah.
How many people does it? How many people does it actually hold? Like 20,000 or some crazy shit.
I'm not sure exactly how many people it holds, man. It's a lot, bro.
I'm not heard, man.
The rodeo you're talking about, that's once a year. It's the Angola rodeo.
Yeah,
Like, if you got people that have been there a long time, they work in the hobby craft shop and stuff, they can make anything, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
and bring it to the Angola rodeo, put it out on a table and sell it. You know, they'll put the money on their books. Like,
that's fucking
they
awesome,
do,
man.
yeah, they do all kind of crazy stuff like that there, bro. But you gotta have a
Yeah.
lot of time to go there, bro. Like,
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask you. So those are people on Angola are people that's had a lot of time. I think he did. I think he did like 17 years or 15 years or 17 years or some shit like that, man. But his dad was actually on the prison with him too, and his dad got locked up when he was like fucking 2 years old, man. And his dad was still there while he was there. He went home, and his dad is still there, man. His dad's been locked up there for like fucking 40 years or some crazy shit, man.
yeah,
Unbelievable amount of time, man. You know, and I know guys in Virginia that have been locked up 30 and 40 years, man. But that's crazy to see your son come in the system, do a big ass chunk, and still go home before you. And you got locked up when he was a baby. That's crazy.
yeah,
That's a lot of
yeah.
time, man.
Yeah, no, it used to be a little different. You used to not have to have that much time to go there. You got to pretty much have life now.
Yeah,
There's a couple of major penitentiaries in Louisiana. You got Angola's the biggest. Under that, you got Elaine Hunt's Correctional Center, and then you got DCI. I've been to both Hunt's and DCI. Hunt's is a receiving center. It's pretty much everybody's got to go through there, get processed before they get shipped to their main camp.
right.
But it does house permanent people as well because it's so damn big.
Yeah.
It's also medical for the state. Anybody with medical issues is going to Hunts or DCI.
Now how many
People,
people? Now how many people? Now how many people? You said it's big. How many people does that hold?
it's probably a good 3,000-4,000 probably.
Yeah, so about the same size, about the same size as Greensville, and I consider Greensville a big prison, so that's
Yeah,
about that's pretty good size, man.
yeah,
But yeah, man, he used to box, man, and like I said, he boxed. This is a guy, man. He took this shit serious. He took it serious, man, and he fucking he contacted me when I came home, and he boxed on ESPN, man. So that's pretty decent, man, to be able to
absolutely.
get to to get to that level from prison. I don't think he did that. I don't think he did that good. I think he may have won like one or two fights since he had come home, but then the one that I had seen, he had lost. But that's still pretty good to be able to fight on ESPN, man, coming out of prison and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Man,
You
they
know
got
that?
a thing. They got a thing in the prison system here, like Angola, Hunts, DCI,
Yeah,
Rayburn, all the other big prisons in Louisiana.
yeah,
They'll travel like from state, like they'll travel from jail to jail and have boxing tournaments.
yeah,
And they'll
yeah.
have a channel on the TV in every dorm that you can watch it. Like,
Awesome, man.
Hunts will
Yeah,
fight DCI or Angola will fight Hunts, and whichever jail is housing it, it'll be put up on the TV for everybody to watch.
that's badass. It gives you something to work for and train for in there, man. It makes you almost feel like you're on the street. We actually had something like that in the Virginia system in the early 90s. Now, this is before I was still in the juvenile correctional center in the early 90s. So this was before I came in the system. But we did still have boxing when I was on Nottoway, but you could not travel. Back before I came into the adult system, um, you could travel around like you were talking about. They had a powerlifting thing, they had a football team, they had softball, they had a whole bunch of different teams, man, and they would travel around to these different prisons and play. And there'd be like a state tournament at the end of the fucking year to see who would be the champion in the powerlifting and the football and the weightlifting and all that stuff and the boxing also. And Virginia is known for fucking shit up, man. We're known for losing everything in Virginia, man. Everything good. We used to have band equipment in our cells, and we used to have arts and crafts. Literally, man, we're known just for fucking everything up. You know what I mean? Anything good that we have in Virginia probably is not going to last. We're going to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Inmates will fuck it up somehow or
There's
another.
one person to
And
run with everybody.
yeah, we'll fuck it up. We'll find a way to fuck it up. But dude that got killed at Nottoway behind the boxing. Dude that got stabbed behind the gang shit. And we can't police ourselves in our system, which is fucked up. You know, it's crazy how we can allow us to fuck shit up. Other inmates should be able, we should be able to police our own shit. Like, hey, listen, you fuck this up, we're fucking you up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you mess this up, if you get this fucking boxing taken away, or you get this arts and crafts taken away, if you get this fucking band room taken away, we're gonna fuck you up. The inmates should be able to manage that on their own, man. We shouldn't have to
Right.
fucking have the police fucking have to stop something that's ours. You know what I'm saying? Because all they're gonna do is take it. And that's what
Yeah.
they did, man. They killed the gang shit. We had like an east and west side blood thing that was going on or some fucking thing, and they were in like total fucking war, and we were still, they were still traveling around. And this is like, man, I'm telling you, like, this is literally like the gangs were just really starting to come to Virginia, like in the '90s and shit. This is in LA and shit. Like, this was literally starting to really come into the system. Back before that, it was just territories and where you were from, whether you were from
Right.
DC, whether you were from Richmond, or whether you were from Tidewater. It was kind of like segregated like that. There was really none of the gang shit. But everything that's always been taken away and happened, man, has always been behind that gang bullshit, man, and they'll fuck everything up, man. It happens all the time, man. But
See, we don't have that here, man. We don't have gangs here in the prison system. That's non-existent here, man.
non-existent.
Yeah, everybody. It's just a big melting pot. Everybody mingles with everybody.
That's
You might catch somebody.
that's how ours is, man. Like, as far as races go, man. I want to ask you about that too, because you just said everybody melts together. Like on the West Coast and stuff. Like, I talked to a lot of people, even here in Vegas and stuff, man. I've talked to inmates out here, people that are home and stuff, and they've told me the same thing, man. It's kind of like how, I guess, like Cali is, how it's racially segregated. And like Virginia and the other East Coast areas and stuff out there, it's not like that, man. And nobody's really segregated racially. If you want to fuck with a certain person, you can fuck with a certain person, man. In our system, out here in California and Vegas and shit like that, man, it's like that's a no go. If you're white, you're not fucking with no blacks. If you're black, you're not fucking with no whites. If you're a Southern Mexican, you're not fucking with no Northern Mexican. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way. That's just the way that their political their shit is. And I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm not from their system, so I don't want to act like I'm fucking master of knowing what the fuck is going on out there. But from what I gather from them, it's kind of like that. So how is it down there where you're at? Is you can mingle with whoever the fuck you want, or they're like, no, you're white, you got to stay with the whites over here, homie. You can't fuck around and go over here with no blacks, or are you able to just chill with anybody you want?
Yeah, no, man. It's anything goes pretty much, man. There's no racial segregation. You might go into a jail and they'll somewhat segregate you. It's the police doing it though. Like,
Yeah,
they'll do dirty shit though. Like, I'm not saying this from a racial standpoint, but they'll have a line that's all blacks, nothing but black people on it. And if they
yeah,
don't like you, if you're a white boy, they don't like you, they'll put you on that line purposely.
yeah,
They do dirty
yeah,
shit like that. But
yeah.
there's no inmate on inmate segregation, none of that, man. Like,
Right.
everybody just pretty much just flows with everybody.
That's cool. That's all right, man. Yeah, that kills a lot of the tension, man. Because like I said, man,
Yeah.
I've grown up around everybody, so I've never really experienced any of that. Now, inmates will segregate themselves, on the gang shit and stuff like that. They'll segregate. Like, we do got Aryan brotherhoods and stuff like that that'll segregate themselves away from everybody else and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that they don't exist in our system, but they're a minority, man. It's not they're definitely not a majority, and they're definitely not a powerhouse like they are on the West Coast where everybody teams together as a certain race to make themselves stronger. It's definitely not that. We got white Crips and we got white GDs, and I've heard this stuff out here. It's like, man, there ain't no such thing as like white Crips and shit. I'm just like, there is in Virginia.
Yeah. Everywhere is different, man.
There is in DC. I mean, there is in Baltimore. I don't know about where you're from, but where we're from, there is. So I don't. But
Yeah.
you said they don't even have fucking gangs down there in the system.
Nah, man, we don't, bro. Like, you might catch some cats from other areas
Yeah,
that gang bang that fall into the system there, man, but they don't like really try and kick it up and get it going or nothing like that, man.
yeah,
It just don't go down like that. I mean, you'll
right,
have it's just natural for people to stick to their own kind, so to speak, I
yeah,
guess. So,
yeah,
most people will stick to their own, it's like
yeah,
that sometimes. I'm not saying this from a trying to be disrespectful to anybody or nothing
yeah.
like that.
No, no, yeah, no
Most,
doubt.
most of
Yeah,
the people, most of the white guys are pretty soft. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like, it's pretty kind of far and in between to find one that's going to stand up for themselves and not take none of the bullshit, bro.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
now
yeah.
and then you'll find that, bro. But a lot of people in prison down here, a lot of people automatically think, and I'm not trying to be racial or nothing, man, but they think because you're white, you're pussy.
Yeah.
And is a lot of them just go with it, bro. But it takes a
They
every now
they
and
go
then you
they
find one
they
that ain't
go
like
from
that.
they go from being like a majority out on the street to being in an area that they're not used to. They're not used to. A lot of white people are not from the streets. A lot of white people
Right.
don't know the codes of being in prison, man. Um they don't understand a lot of what goes on in that world, man. So when they get in there, they're green as grass. You know, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of white people are definitely out of place in the penitentiary system, man. You know, they're definitely not used to it. So, you know, when other people in there are they're already in tuned and that's that's their world inside of there and that's the way that they've always lived and now you're the minority inside of the prison. I know whites are definitely the minority inside of our system.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically like you said, man, if you're not from that lifestyle, man, you're basically head down and you just either get with the fucking program or you're gonna get ran the fuck over, man. And that's the way and it's sad, but that's the way you just said it, and that's Louisiana. It's not much different where the fuck I'm from. So
Yeah.
I believe everything that you just said, 100%.
Mhm.
Now, I want to ask you this. So I was down in Baton Rouge probably about 6 months ago. I was actually down there training with some bad motherfuckers down there. And actually, I was supposed to fight in Louisiana, but as you know, a lot of people know, some people don't. Um, because of my age, to fight in Louisiana, they came at me with I need to have a brain MRI. So if you're over 40 years old,
Yeah.
and I'm 44 in July, so I'm fucking way over 40, you have to have a brain MRI to fight in Baton Rouge. But I was down there. That's here nor there. That doesn't mean shit. We're gonna get that taken care of. That's gonna happen. So we're not worried about that now. But it was too late at
Yeah.
that time to try to get that taken care of. It was literally a week's notice. It's not the coach's fault because the coach didn't know either. He came at me with it and was like, "Yo, we just found this shit out. I don't know what you can do in a week." And I'm like, well, yeah, fucking nothing. I can't even get a doctor's appointment in a fucking week, let alone go to a
Yeah.
specialist and get a fucking MRI ordered and all. It's not possible. It's way too late. Not going to happen. But I was down there. It's called Elite Boxing, Elite MMA, man. And they actually got two badass brothers down there. Their dad is one of the coaches down there, but two of their brothers down there. I mean, two of his sons down there. If you go watch the videos from Baton Rouge on my station, one of them guys is getting ready to fight. They both fought on Showtime, man. And the older brother is nationally ranked, man. He's like number like 8 or some shit like that in the nation. So they're definitely got some badass fucking dudes that come out of Baton Rouge. They came and picked me up from the airport in the big city, and then we drove about an hour into Baton Rouge and shit. And you were talking about like parishes. Now parishes, like what is that? What does that consider? Like, does that mean like swamps or what is that? What does a parish mean?
It's pretty much equivalent to a county, I guess you would
Uh,
say. You got like East Baton Rouge Parish, West Baton Rouge Parish, New Orleans, and you got the city of New Orleans, which you got like Jefferson Parish, Marrero, uh, you got East Feliciana Parish, West Feliciana Parish. It's pretty much a small city, I guess you would say,
yeah,
but it's
yeah,
labeled
yeah,
a parish instead of a county.
yeah.
That's pretty much all it is, man. The dude you're talking about boxing with or whatever, their last name isn't Jones, is it?
Yeah, I think that is their last name. Yeah,
Yeah, they used to have
yeah,
some.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I know who you're
Jones, and
talking
then
about.
the dad has got a brother. I think his name is Kane or something like that. And then his two sons. Yeah, that is their last name, Jones. Yeah, I don't want
Yeah,
to say it on here, but yeah, that is their last name. There's some
one
there's
of them. Yeah, one of them used to tell anybody in Baton Rouge, man, I'll give you $5,000 if you can knock me out. Get in the ring with me, I'll
yeah,
give you 5 grand if you can
yeah,
knock me out.
yeah. They're
Yeah,
badass. Their dad is a badass, man. Their dad actually, I did an instruction video with his dad. The dad is like the head coach, but one of his son is 147, and his other son fights at 168. Now, when I boxed him, his 147 pounder was probably 170 some, and his 168 pounder was probably fucking 190 some when I boxed them. So they were fucking way big. I honestly couldn't believe his one son. could even get to 147 pounds. That's how big he was. I was like, fuck, that's a big ass 147 pounder, man. So I was like, fuck. But they're definitely some. But they got a good the MMA coach, man, actually was in prison. He did like 10 years in prison, man. Their MMA coach, and he's a bad dude. And I said they call him Georgetown. I don't know if you heard of him, but Georgetown is their MMA coach, and he's got one eye. Um, but he did 10 years in prison, man, and he's been a couple different spots and stuff too, man. But they call him Georgetown, man. Cool ass cat. But yeah, the good ass school down there, man. So if you guys are ever down in there, it's called Elite MMA and Elite Boxing. It's in Baton Rouge. I can't see it not probably being the best school down there just because of the two sons that come out of there and the level that they fought at. So I don't know. There might be some other bad motherfuckers down there. I don't know, but that's the only people I know from down there. So they do got some tough guys down there, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever. I'm gonna have to look that up, man. I know there's a big road in Baton Rouge called Sherwood Forest. There's a UFC gym on that road. I don't know if it's the same place you're talking about or not.
This is in the shopping center, and it's like at the end. It's actually got like other stores in there. It's like a little strip mall, not that long, but it's actually right on the end, and it's not that big. They actually got a room for a ring, and then they got some mats, and literally not much else. Oh, and then they got some bags up against the wall, but that's about it. It's a pretty small gym, but they got some really good dudes come out of it. They got a girl that's actually fought on the UFC. She's a purple belt in BJJ. I actually grappled her on my station too. And then he's got another guy, they call him Blue Gorilla, or Gorilla Blue or something like that. He looks like Conor McGregor kind of. And I sparred him. He's fucking pretty good too. And he was actually supposed to fight on the same card as me. But he did fight. I didn't. But he's a bad dude too, man. So they do got some good school. They got a good school down there for sure, man. So let's get back on the prison stuff, man. So what so you say you did 7 years and you can't so what other vocational stuff do they have? You said you took a welding and stuff, man. What else do they offer down there?
They got I'm sure at Angola they probably offer a little bit more. I know at Hunts when I was there for processing, their programs are a bit more lengthy. They were a little longer. They probably taught you a lot more throughout the duration of the course. But where I was at DCI, that was the last place I was at before I came home. They offered the welding, carpentry, mechanics, and I think I like to say plumbing.
Right.
That was
it. That's pretty good, man. That's not bad at all. And
yeah,
you said you get real certified. This is not no bullshit. This is done through the vocational classes and stuff at the community college. So that's pretty good. So at least they're giving people. So basically, man. Let me say this. So basically, if you fuck up when you get out and you don't have a trade, it's pretty much your fault. You get a GED and stuff in there too, right? You get your GED and shit.
Yeah, well, you can't even take these VOTEC classes unless you have a GED.
There you go. Ours either. Same thing. So that's, man. So look, man. So if you guys are in the Louisiana system, man, and you come home and you fuck up, it's basically because you didn't fucking put no effort into getting any of these types of things, man. Because it sounds to me like, man, they're definitely giving you, I've talked to people in other states that they don't offer you shit. So that's pretty good, man, that they're offering that because they offer those same type of classes in Virginia, man. So, and it's the same thing. And it's crazy because our recidivism rates are still high as shit, which shows you that a lot of our Virginia guys don't give a fuck about the classes. They're going to go back out and commit crime anyway. You know what I mean? So, what's your recidivism rates down there, man? Are they pretty high? Like if you do like 5 years or more, what's the percentage, if you even know, what's the percentage of people that are going to go back to prison?
I'm not really sure. I know it's got to be up there because I read something a while back, man. The state of Louisiana has got more people incarcerated than the country of Afghanistan. Well, that's crazy, you know, like it's got to be up there, you know. The classes, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's an awesome thing, man. You get good time for taking them as well. You get time knocked off your sentence for taking these classes as well. You know, 90 days, 3 months or whatever for taking them.
Yeah.
Some people, though, the state's getting paid for you to take these classes regardless. Yeah. So even if you fail the class and you don't learn shit, you get paid anyway. Still passing.
Yeah. That's kind of ours is kind of the same way, man. It's like fucking they basically just they're federally funded. So whether you pass or you don't pass, they're still going to pay your community colleges or wherever else your workforces or whatever. They're still going to pay them anyway, man. And it's and I know what you mean because listen, I got my OSHA card and I got my serve safe for the kitchen, man, because I was a cook in the dining hall. Now I don't use that out here. You know, you guys know I do the tractor trailer thing and stuff. And I actually fucking don't even know what those certificates are. But I did. I got my OSHA. Um, I got my. I don't want to say it's a hazardous material. It was some fucking shit like that, man. But I got that, and I got my serve safe. And I'm telling you, man, when you go in the dining hall and you get the serve safe shit, this is like if you go into any McDonald's or anything, they usually have their serve safe certificates up on the wall of any restaurant, of any fast food chain or anything. Man, they usually always have to have somebody in there that's got their serve safe. They have to. So whether it's the manager or whatever, somebody in there's got their serve safe, and it's up. And I'm telling you guys, check it out. Next time you're out there, you're gonna be like, "Damn, Mouse was just fucking talking about that." You probably never noticed it before, but you're gonna see a certificate up on the wall in a fast food restaurant where everybody can see it. It can't be in the back somewhere. It has to be up front where you and I can see it. And it actually is a serve safe certificate, same certificate you get inside prison. But the crazy shit about it is, dude, is that you have to be pretty sharp to like you really have to study to get that shit, man. Look, man, I did not know not one of those fucking answers. Look, man, I'm dead ass serious. I didn't know any of those answers, man, and they gave us the answers to every
Yeah.
single fucking question on the test,
They
man.
want you to pass. Yeah.
Everybody passed it. There was nobody in the class that failed it, and I know there was
Like
dudes in there way dumber than I was. But they
yeah.
literally, I know what you mean, man. It's like they get they you know you're gonna pass the fucking thing, man. So it's definitely bubblegum down, man. He definitely is definitely some bullshit because man, he ain't half them dudes, man. We wouldn't have passed that if we had to.
Yeah. And if you ask me, bro, in my personal opinion, it would knock the recidivism rate down drastically, bro.
Yeah,
When you're in prison, if you're doing X amount of time, it should be mandatory for you to get your GED. They should teach you how to balance a checkbook, make a resume, take
no
some
doubt.
kind of schooling. That should all be mandatory, man,
Yeah,
because you go to prison for X amount of time and get released back out there into the street with no job skills, no nothing. You don't know nothing. What are you supposed to do? You
yep,
know?
yep.
Like that should be mandatory. That would change everything, bro.
I think it would too, man. Especially coming out of here, with what you said, like a skill, man, having some type of certification, man. Because if you ain't got nothing to offer nobody out here, man, then you're screwed, man. You
Yep.
know they'll overlook a lot of the stuff, man. Being on gang file, the tattoos and stuff, man. I never had an issue, ever in a tractor trailer. I got fucking gold tee. I got fucking tattoos. I'm on gang file. I was on probation. Even when I was on probation, man, I never had an issue ever getting a job. What's your driving record look like? Oh, you're okay. You got a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I had something to offer, man. I had something that
Right.
the world can't go without. If the world can't go without it, heating, air conditioning, roofing, they need you.
Yep.
If you're a necessity,
Literally.
then you have a job, man. Your job is a necessity. If all you have is McDonald's skills, and I'm not talking down on anybody with that, but
Right.
if that's all that you have to offer, man, they're gonna hire that 15 or 16-year-old before they're gonna hire you. You know, because they're not a risk to stealing their shit. They're not tatted up. They're not gonna scare the customers. They're not worried about you fucking giving your friends free food. You know what I mean? They're not worried
Yep.
about them. They might have to be. They might have not have to worry about you at all. But just because of your past and your record, that's the stigma, man. And they're gonna judge you by it. You know, it sucks, but that's what it is, man. You know, I get judged every day, and and I got a YouTube, so I'm in the I'm in the eye of a lot of people, man. So
Yeah.
um, trust me, I know it doesn't affect me, because I care less. But
Right.
for a lot of people that are out here and they're scrambling and they're coming home from prison, man, that judgment could be the case of them making it or going back to prison. Because if you judge them wrong and you don't give them a job, and they feel like they're failing or they feel like, man, screw this shit, then man, I'm gonna go back to doing what I know how to do. I'm gonna go back to robbing, stealing, hustling, doing whatever, man. Um, you know, you may have just closed the door on somebody that might end up hurting your family. You know what I'm saying? Might end up hurting your mom or your kids or your dad or your grandparents. You know what I mean? You might have closed the door on somebody that's going to break in your house later on. You know, that you could have given a chance and a job to, and may have been the best worker that you ever had. But you looked at their past record, or you looked at the way that they look, and that's all you needed to see. You know, and it's fucked up. You know, but that's what it is. So that's why I tell everybody, man, come out here. That way they can't shut the door on you, man. That way you are a necessity. They need you. They'll overlook all of that shit. I've seen it a million times, man. You know?
Yeah, not only that, man. I mean, you feel better about yourself too. It does good for your self esteem, man. Like
Yeah.
the first time I did my first 5 year jokes, when I got out, I went to apply for a place. It was a scrap yard. I
Right.
wanted to go work for him, and had a great interview. Hired me on the spot, and he just happened to. I used I was a trustee at one of these places, man. I worked for the town, and I used them as
Yeah.
a reference, and I had that listed on my application. They just
Right.
happened to ask me at the end of the interview, you were up north Louisiana. What made you move back down here? I didn't lie. I was honest. I said, man, I
Yeah.
was incarcerated. It wasn't a drug charge. I wasn't stealing or nothing. I got in a fight when I was a stupid young kid, man. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, is that going to be a problem? He's like, well, no, not for me, but it might be for my boss, man. Like, he gave me keys to a company truck and everything. He was like, let me get those keys back.
Yeah.
Don't call us, we'll call you, you know. Never
Yeah.
heard back from him again, man. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have any skills. It was just a, $10, $12 an hour job,
Right.
like
Right. Right.
they had nothing to offer them. They could have got the next man with a clean record and gave him the job like it was nothing,
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. So what you were saying is definitely true, man. It definitely helps to have some kind of
Yeah.
skill set.
Have a skill set, man. You know, a lot of people, like I said, my brother, I say this all the time. My brother did 22 years and he did not even get a GED. 22 years in, didn't even get a GED, man. And when he got out, I tried to help him get his CDL, to try to get him in a truck. He didn't want any of that shit, man. He didn't want it the whole time he was in prison. All he was doing was robbing and stealing and gambling and hustling the whole time he was in prison. So he didn't want it anyway, man. And ultimately, man, he was on the street a year, man. Got strung out on meth and, had to shoot out with the police. The police killed him down in Florida. Like, it was like, man, he was destined to fail, man. He put himself in that position where he didn't want to succeed, man. He wanted to live off the land, and I understand that freedom of living outside the law, man. Where you just like everybody's free game. You're not going to abide by no rules. I did that. I did 2 8-year bids. I did 16 years in prison. Um, for those 5 years that I was out, I definitely lived like uh, everybody was fair game to me. Everybody was a victim to me. Everybody was a come up for me. Everybody was made to help me survive and live a good life. I didn't care who I hurt. I didn't care who. It did not matter to me, man. So I understand. And probation, none of that. It was like I was free. I did it to me. I was free, and I was not gonna abide by no laws or no listen to nobody. You know what I mean? And ultimately I had to go back to prison to figure it out, man. That shit, man. These motherfuckers out here don't owe you nothing, and they're always gonna have a bed open for you,
They'll leave
and
the light on for you.
they got plenty of bed space, man. And if they don't, they'll build another fucking prison for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They will build they
Put
will
your
build
ass
an
on the
entire
floor.
fucking prison just for you. You know what I'm saying? Just for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Make you sleep on the damn floor, bro.
Yeah. Don't never think that, well, our jails are full. They will put your ass, like you said, on a fucking stack of bunk on the floor in a gym before they turn you away and say, well, we're packed right now. We're gonna let him get away with his crime.
Yeah, no, that ain't
Don't
happening.
never
Yeah.
think that shit, man. They're always gonna have a bed space for you, man. So, I'm on probation. I'm off of everything, dude. I'm like this, I literally been on probation since I was 13. I didn't get off probation until I was 42 years old, man. Never was off probation. In and out of institutions, group homes, house arrest, outreach, indefinite probation, juvenile correctional centers, adult correctional centers. You know what I'm saying? I've been through it all, man. So trust me, man. If you're not able to get out of that lifestyle, if you're not able to block that shit off, man, they're always going to have a fresh spot for you, man. And like I said, it doesn't matter how good you are or how long you've been out or whatever, man. If you ain't got nothing to offer these people out here on the streets, man, understand that it's going to be a hard case for you to get your shit together, man, out here. And it doesn't happen overnight. You can't just be like, man, well, I go home in 3 months, man. I'm going to stop stealing and hustling and robbing. I know guys, like I said, I know guys that have gotten out here on the streets with dope habits from prison, that were getting high all the way to the door and came out here strung out on the street and got dirty their first probation.
Right
Coming
back
home,
in.
straight out the yard, dirty. So this isn't something that happens overnight, man. You have to be able to. You need to be able to cut that shit off years before you come home, man. And get your shit together, man. Everybody's like, well, I'm a chill, man. When I get down to my last month, I'm gonna quit doing it. Man,
Don't work.
that's not gonna work. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
nah,
work,
that don't
man.
work, man.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You have
No,
to make
I
it a
know what you
lifestyle.
mean. The system's so flawed too, bro. Like, you do your time, you get out your own paper, man. You got to meet these requirements, and it's really hard to do that when they send you out that door with nothing to your name, bro. Like, what
Nope.
are you supposed to
Exactly.
do? You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
it's just a revolving door, man. It's hard to get out of it a lot of times.
All right. So how do they? Okay, in Virginia now, they when I came home the first time, you got $25 in a bus ticket. Like you got shit. You got nothing. Now what they do is, since we started the reentry programs, and I actually go back into the prisons. Well, before the COVID, I used to go back into a lot of the reentry programs, and what they're doing now is that they, whether you got a job or whether you're getting money from the street or whatever, they basically try to get you up to $1,000 before you go home. So they take a little bit out of each of your checks, out of each of money coming in until you reach that $1,000 mark. Um, a lot of people don't reach that $1,000 mark. A lot of people fucking can't even come close. But
Yeah,
whatever it is, they take a certain percentage out of your checks, your prison checks or whatever, and they put all that shit aside so you can come home. They also are making sure that you come home with a birth certificate, a social security card, and an ID.
that's
So
good.
you're not going home with having to worry about not being able to get an ID or birth certificate or social security card. So
Yeah, that's
they're paying
good.
for all of that also. So that is definitely a big help, man, because a lot of
Oh,
the issues were fucking dudes coming home and all they had was a prison ID and they didn't have shit.
yeah,
They're having to write vital statistics. They're having to wait to get a birth certificate. They don't have the money to get a birth certificate. Then they got to go try to get a social security card. Nope. You're going to walk out the door. Everybody in the system of Virginia, you're going home with a birth certificate, not a driver's license, a walker's ID, and your social security card. So you're going home with three things, man, and $1,000 maybe.
that's
So
a big help.
it is, man. It is a big help, dude. Because man, when I got out, like I thought I was going back in. My whole game plan. Man, I had blinders on, man. I had tunnel vision, man. My whole shit was, I'm going home. I'm getting my CDL back. I'm going back in this truck. We're living in a trailer. Like we're doing bad, man. I got a son. Like we're broke. We're fucked up. Like nothing, man. We had shit, and me coming home was even more shit because I didn't have a job. I didn't have no. I was more of a strain on my family than them by themselves. So, you know, I came home was my whole mentality was CDL, going right back in the truck. Let's get this license back. Day I come home, we're going to the DMV. We're doing this, we're doing that. Well, I had a possession of marijuana charge before I got locked up. And in Virginia then, but it wasn't legal. So Virginia then, marijuana was a 6 months automatic suspension of your driver's license. So, well, I knew that, but I thought that 6 months was
Credited
that
to you.
well, yeah, I thought that 6 months was part of my fucking 8 years I just did,
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah.
so but no, that 6 months did not start um until I did the VA SAP class, the ASAP class, which is like for alcohol or drugs. So you had to take that before you're 60. You had to pay your $35. You had to get enrolled in that. Then your 6 months started.
Damn.
Well,
It's a big
so
setback.
man, it was a detriment, man. It was almost enough setback to put me back in the streets.
Yeah.
Because I mean, literally, I mean, I didn't have anybody else. My wife and we had a kid, so I was just like, man, the first thing I'm thinking is like, damn, like I'm sitting there like, damn, like God, man, why'd you put me back in this position to uh.
Yeah.
Why you put my back against this wall, man? You knew I came out here with every intention of doing right and doing good. Why did you put my back against this wall, man, to make me want to have to come back out here and hurt people and run up in people's shit and steal people's stuff? You know what I mean? Go back out to that, get back into that. that predatory mind frame, man. Like, why would you put me back in that position, man? That's all that was going through my head. But I held out. Thank God I held out because I could have went right back, man. So that's why I try to tell everybody, man. There's always speed bumps and hurdles out here, and one, a lot of people look for them. A lot of people wait for these speed bumps and hurdles to come, man. A lot of people, they're just like, man, oh well, I tried. Time to go back to doing crime. They literally wait for one failure, one thing to fail, and then they're going back to doing some type of dirt, you know. And and it's sad because they really never had the intentions of doing right. They never really did. But I held out, man, and I made it. And I'm on probation now. I'm off of everything. My CDL's good. I got my hazmat. I got my doubles tanker. I got my triples. I got everything that there is. I got my twit card. I can go on military bases, man. I can go on military bases and run hazardous material out of military bases, man. A felon
Yeah.
looking like me. So, I can say I got my boy Danny Rios. I talk about him all the time on my videos. Danny Rios, I got him his CDL. I've gotten a lot of people their CDL. I actually just got a guy their CDL from the Atlanta prison talk that I just did the other day. I've already given him all the information. He's already talked to a recruiter and he's going to get his CDL now. So I've gotten a lot of people their CDL since they've been home, man. And with a Class A CDL, man, you should be able to make between $50,000 to $70,000 a year, man. Yeah, you should be able to live pretty good, health insurance, and you should be able to survive. You know, and
See, down here, it's not quite like that. What you were
yeah,
saying about what they're doing now with $1,000 and stuff,
yeah,
they don't, you get nothing when you get out of jail down here, bro.
sad,
Like
man, sad.
the last time I discharged, man, they give you a bus ride from the prison to the Baton Rouge Greyhound bus station, and
Yeah,
whatever money you had on your books, they give you a check. That's it. They don't give you no money. They give you a ride to the bus station. That's it. That's all you get.
that's messed up, man. And they did it in Virginia too for a long time. Then they started realizing that it, it, if we just help these dudes have a little bit more when they get out, how much better they can succeed, man. And at the end of the day, it saves the state money by being able to get these small little things, man, and how many people it helps out because they already got an ID now. They can go if they can go walk over to this place and get a job. They don't have to wait. You know what I mean? So it helps out a lot. And then if you got a little bit of money saved up and stuff, so it does help out a lot of people, man. So even if it helps out 10 or 20 people, you know what I mean? And it's probably helped out way more than that. But if it helps out more than that from going back into doing crime because their backs against the wall, waiting on any of this type of stuff, man, then hey, it's worth it to the state to do a little bit extra. You know what I'm saying? So, keep dudes out from having to go back, man, or having to feel like they're fucking, wow, man, I got to wait 3 months to get my birth certificate. How do I even go about it? Man, like I know, man. A lot of people in prison, man, and I'm not saying everybody because there's some smart motherfuckers in prison, but a lot of dudes in prison, man, are not the sharpest pencils in the box, man. And for them to be able to learn or not have family, if they done did 20 or 30 years, dude, I got motherfuckers out here that are tapping on cell phones like what the like a fucking caveman. Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this thing right here? What is this contraption? I've only seen these on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are these? So 20 or 30 years, like, fucking getting a birth certificate and a social security card, that's like speaking fucking Spanish to some of these dudes. Like, what the hell is that? How do I go about doing that? A lot of these dudes go back to prisons and they've never had a driver's license, they never had a birth certificate or social security card ever in their lives, and they go right back to prison. It's fucked up, man. But it's the way that it is, man. And if it helps out, like, but at least, like you said, your system at least, you know, got some type of schooling, man, and vocational trades. That's a big step for a lot of people, man, because first off, it gives you fucking something to do while you're in there, man. I got
Yeah.
my floor covering, I got my industrial maintenance, I got my HVAC, I got 3 different state certifications, and I did all 3 of those in an 8-year time. You know what I'm saying? My first bid, I got my GED and I got my associate's degree in prison. So I have a GED, I got my associate's degree, and I got 3 state certifications, and I don't use none of that shit. But I have
Yeah.
it. If I need it, I have it. Um,
Fallback plan. Yeah.
Fallback, man, all day. Fallback. I got shit,
Absolutely.
and I got my Surf Safe, and I got my OSHA. So I did a lot while I was in there. I didn't sit around and now you might be, my man, the motherfucker was working out and getting tattooed. I did all that too, but
Right.
definitely fucking my days started. I lived militant as fuck. I worked out. All my shit was regimented, man. And when you have a regiment like that, um, your time goes so much faster, man, and you're doing things. You having some type of productiveness in your life, man. You have some type of
Yeah.
meaning, So and like I said, all those things help you when you get out on the street, man. My boy Skilly, man, he's got like 8 or 9 people working for him now. He's fucking does the not the heating air conditioning the electrician thing, man. He's got company vehicles. He's got his own shit. My boy Danny Rios, he's making a couple $1 million a year. He's got like 4 tractor trailers now. You know what I mean? He's one of the guys that helped get their CDL. My boy Gary owns 2 tattoo shops now. You know what I'm saying? Like I got guys out here that are like really doing shit. My boy Mighty's got contract with Fridays and Ruby Tuesdays and shit, doing the heating and air conditionings and stuff. He's got like fucking like 12 Spanish dudes that work for him. Like, man, these motherfuckers are doing it, man, from prison. You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
prison. They got certified in prison, and these motherfuckers are making a shit ton of money, more than I'm making. You know, so
Yeah, I think it
you
comes
can
down
do it.
to the yeah, I mean it comes down to the end of the day too, man. If you got the opportunity to take advantage of it, man, and like you said, some
Yeah,
people don't want to take advantage of it. But if
sure.
you got that opportunity, man, you take advantage of it. It's when you get out to, it's up to you to chase it, man. Don't just
That's it.
leave it at the door, man. Keep going with it, bro.
No doubt. No
Everybody
doubt.
got to start somewhere, bro. You got to start at the
Yeah,
bottom and work your way up, man.
for sure. This is YouTube, man. This is a lot of what I do, man. Is not YouTube makes money, but I'm not one of these fucking $1 million YouTube channels like these other dudes on here. A lot of these these prison stations, man, they make a lot of fucking money, man. They get a lot of views and stuff, man. Our shit's not glorified to those levels. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're out here trying to help people, man. Even with the fighting thing, um, I can sit there and put on hood fights out here in the streets, like, and say fuck the guns down, gloves up movement, and just put on some fucking hood scraps out here, man. Bitches out here fighting and motherfuckers out here trying to kill each other. But at the end of the day, man, it's all about karma. It's all about how you live, man. If I want to make if I wanted to be a millionaire, like I said, my boy Danny Rios is a millionaire driving trucks right now. He doesn't even have to work anymore. I can go out here and do the same thing he's doing in this tractor trailer world. But I
You
feel
enjoy
like
what you do.
yeah, man. I feel like, man. It's not. At first, it was stressful as shit. Because I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to live off of this. You know what I'm saying? But every time that I was always, I don't know if you're religious or what, but every time I was always trying to do something else, like I got pulled back into this. You know what I'm saying? Like I was getting ready to go back in the truck like last year. Even the beginning of this year, man, I was getting ready to go back and start my own company, man. Get back in the truck and have my own company and go back in the truck and just be like, all right, well, I did the YouTube thing for long enough, but then now I'm doing like a shit ton of these prison talks. The COVID shit's slowing down. We're getting ready to go back into the prisons now. We actually got a thing getting ready to start probably on Showtime as soon as the West Coast is crazy with this COVID shit. They actually just fucking
Here
mandated
too.
some shit out here on fucking Cali again. They're making people wear masks again out here. So it's
It's
fucking
like that
crazy.
here, man.
And it's fucking
Louisiana's
nuts,
number
dude.
one for COVID in the country right
Fucking,
now.
fucking crazy, dude.
It's getting
You
bad
know,
here again. Yeah.
Well, we had a thing. We had a thing getting ready to start. We were trying to start a thing on Showtime with the Return to Citizen magazine. Like I said, we go nationwide, federal and state with the Return to Citizen magazine. Well, they came at me and they were like, "Man, why don't you teach these dudes how to do YouTube?" And I'm just like, "YouTube." I was like, "Man, you try to teach these inmates coming home how to do YouTube, they're gonna fail. This ain't no successful fucking thing like talking about, man.
Yeah.
Some people have big success with it, some people fucking don't have none. I'm right here in the middle of it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm fucking bad off, but it's like I said, I could definitely make this way bigger than financially, but I'm not selling my soul to do it. You know what I mean? Fuck
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Um,
Absolutely.
but it's we were gonna start a thing for Showtime, and it was basically and Showtime was been dude, we had the contract, we had this thing down, and it was all about my idea. This was all my idea. Their idea was fucking YouTube. I was like, dude, fuck the YouTube. I was like, look, I said, why don't we do this? We'll go back in and we're gonna help 3 dudes get their CDLs. So when they come home, we're going to show people step by step. We're going to take 3 inmates coming home. We're going to show them step by step on camera. They're going to edit this and make this thing official, man. We're going to take them through the workforce. We're going to take them from the workforce to CDS, from CDS to the hotels to the fucking to the getting their CDL for that entire month out there, man. We're going to fucking get them jobs with their CDLs. 3 people, and we're going to follow them for a year. And at the end of the year, we're going to see if any of these three people, if given the opportunity to have a career making $50,000 to $70,000 a year with health insurance and be able to take care of their family, would they still go back into the streets, or would they take this career and make it a success and make a lifestyle and take care of their families and not go back to prison? You know what I'm saying? Showtime jumped all over it, bro. They were fucking all in, you know. So hopefully, you know, once this COVID stuff, well, we can start getting back into the prisons. So I haven't been back in the prison since the fucking COVID. You know, we've done job fairs, we've done small job fairs and stuff, and you know, and like I said, I help a lot of guys on here, you know, what I mean, get jobs and get their CDL. Man, I'll never end an amount of people I've helped get their CDLs. But man, if we can start this thing on Showtime, man, and we can prove that, and we do this a couple times, not just with the CDL shit, but if I have my boy Skilly help dudes get their HVACs and their electrician shits, and we get these dudes real jobs, and like you said, force it on them, not just give them an option of getting their GED, not just give them an option of getting a certificate. Be like, listen, bitch, you want to go home? You're gonna have this in your pocket. You're going to have this in your pocket, and you're going to walk out this gate. If you don't, you can sit in this motherfucker and rot, you know, basically. And also give them the motivation to, look, man, you can actually go home earlier if you get these, you know, type of thing, man. And let's see how many of these people succeed out here. Let's see how many of these people fucking actually make it out here on the street, man, if they have this type of stuff under their belt, man, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you do that, man, if you take all them classes and you do all that, like we are talking about, you're proving that you have what it takes to succeed out in the world, man. Like, you're proving that you've got what it takes to do the right thing. You have the knowledge. It's up to you if you use it or not, but you have what you need to do it. Right. And like you were just saying on the Showtime show, like, if you offer 3 people that opportunity, man, and they pissed it away, that's just dumb as hell, bro. You're getting handed it to you on a silver platter. Like, you don't have to do nothing. Like, people would kill for that opportunity that aren't even in prison, you know?
No doubt. And that, man, and if we could do that, man, you know how much we'd be able to drop the recidivism rates, man, not just in our state, but everywhere, man. If we did exactly what you just said, force these dudes to get their shit, or give them, look, man, you can get fucking, like our system, man, in Virginia, man, we're 85%. If we could drop, if we, like, listen, if you 85 is the best you can get in our system, violent or non-violent. We don't give a shit. We have no parole. They abolished parole in 1995. Good or bad, 100%. If you're bad, 85%, the best you can get in Virginia. So you guaranteed 100% of your time. 85% is if you're kissing ass. So that's the best you're going to get in our state. So if we're like, look, okay, 85%, that's the best you're going to get. But if you get state certified in barbering or floor covering or wall paneling or electrician or framing house, whatever, man. And we have everything. We got everything from masonry. We got everything in Virginia, man. Not every prison has it. You have to go to different prisons to get it. But we have every fucking thing, man. Everything you can think of, we have in Virginia, man. And we got fucking culinary arts, dude. We teach motherfuckers how to make cupcakes and shit. Like, man, we got everything in Virginia, man. Yeah, everything. Sewing and everything. So if you can get these dudes state certified, be like, look, man, okay, we'll drop your shit to 50%. You know what I'm saying? You got 10 years. Now you only got to do 5 years of this shit, but you have to get your GED and you have to have at least one state certification, man, before you go home. You know how many motherfuckers that jump on that, man? A lot.
Yeah, a lot of incentive.
A lot. I mean, you would be stupid not to. You know, if we're going to drop your time in half, if you're going to get 30 for 30, which is 50% of your time, if you're going to get 30 for 30, you'd be dumb as shit if you got 10 years. If you could get your time down to 5 years, man, you'd be dumb as shit to do that full 10. You'd be crazy as hell. You know?
And I told, you know, I've come to realize this. It took me 30 years to do it, man. But, you know, a lot of people, they get caught up on what their homeboys think about them and all that, man. At the end of the day, man, if you got a family out there in the streets, man, fuck what anybody thinks about you, bro. Like, it don't matter what somebody, if they ain't putting their hands on you or your family or affecting the way you live, don't even worry about that shit, man. If you're doing what you're
where
doing,
your homeboys gonna be at, man? Where your homeboys? You know, really, man. Like you just said, man. Look, I don't want to cut you off. I want you to finish saying what you're saying, but I forget a lot about what the fuck I said. But man, at the end of the day, man, that homeboy shit washes off in the shower, man. After fucking you do 5 months, and some people don't even last that long. I know motherfuckers that don't last 5 days. You know, the girlfriends you got out here, these so called homeboys you got, man, you know, like you just said, man, you know, the motherfuckers are gonna be there as that family. The rest of the motherfuckers, man, you kiss their ass goodbye, man. You know, and all these girls that you think you have out here, man, shit, half them motherfuckers are gone too. So you know, you go ahead and cancel all that, man. You turning your family away. You shitting on your family. You shitting on the ones that are really going to ride with you. You're shitting on the ones that are really got your back, you know. But a lot of people don't fucking realize that, man, until that's the only people you had to fucking call. That's the only putting money on your commissary. That's the only motherfuckers coming to visit you. All that homeboy shit, gone. All that homegirl shit, gone. You know. I'm not
Absolutely,
saying that's for
man.
everybody. I'm not saying that's for everybody. But I'm saying that's a large percentage of people, man.
Yeah,
That's a large percent,
yeah,
man.
man. Like my mama, man. She was my ride or die, man. She
I,
ain't here no more, man. She died a couple years ago, man, from
I hear
cancer.
about
But
that. Yeah.
thank you. Uh, every weekend she'd come visit, she was there, bro. If I
Really.
couldn't count on nobody, I could count on her, bro. But it's true what they say, man. When you're in there, you're not doing that time by yourself, bro.
Mm.
Like I watched my mama get grayer and grayer, and
Yep.
she was an old lady when I came home, bro. Like it
Yep.
took a toll on her too. So it does affect your family and your loved ones, man. It really does, bro.
Right.
Like, there's no doubt
Absolutely.
about that.
No doubt. Well, I don't really have much else to say, man. If you want to give them your any of your social media or holler at them, man, because they could like, man, you might have dudes that want to ask you more questions, or somebody else that you might be able to help out, or somebody that just wants to kick it, man. That's relating to you from talking to me. So you want to give them any way to get in contact with you, give them everything besides your phone number. You can give them that shit on the side. But any of your
Yeah.
social media or anything like that, you can give it to them now.
Yeah, I don't really do too much of the social media, man. I got a Facebook. It's my name that's listed below, Eric Mutry. I got an Instagram. Don't really get on it very often, but I think it's eMutry 1990, if I'm not
Well,
mistaken.
even your Facebook, man. I mean, even if they can just get a hold of you on there, and then you guys can exchange real information, man. Just a way that they can get a hold of you, even an email or whatever, man. That Facebook's good enough, man. If you're on that, they can hit you on Messenger or whatever on that shit, man. But
Yeah, I got the
just
Facebook
some way.
too.
Yeah, I just like to have somebody be able to, like I said, you. A lot of people relate to other people, man. So like
Right.
my boy Casper and shit, man. He's got a lot of people that talk to him off of here now. Like a lot of people reach out to him and stuff, man, because they, you know, with the substance abuse and stuff that he went through, man. Like he hits the nail on the head with a lot of these people out here that go through a lot of the same shit. So you never know who you can reach or who might want to ask you questions about certain things, man. But
Absolutely.
man, I definitely appreciate you, man. You did your thing on here. This was a fucking
Likewise.
hour and 7 minutes, man. We definitely fucking put it on this bitch for real.
Absolutely.
And definitely, you got my phone number, man. Y'all hit me up. I'm gonna post this video up tomorrow, so you'll have it up and shit, and I'll send it out to you. I'll give you the link and stuff to it too. So
Cool.
definitely appreciate
Yeah,
y'all,
man.
man. Thanks a lot, man. It's Prison Talk, Mighty Mouse in Louisiana, man. We down here with my boy Eric. Y'all hit him up. Peace, y'all.